Okay, if you have some off days or off weeks, just know that whatever vision you set for yourself, just set little goals every single day. And even if you miss a few days or a couple weeks, just know that it's okay, forgive yourself, and move on from that and continue on. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is living their best life, and if you're not, please do something today to get you on the path of living your best life. So, as I'm recording this right now, I would just like to say that I have how many subscribers, or how many supporters, more like it, that decided to stay with me on this journey called life? 1,650, bro. Just wait 1 second. Did you see? Ah! I'm so happy about that. Thank you guys so much. When I first started off this channel, it was just like one of the subscribers was myself from a school account, and then my other subscribers were my two sisters. So I started off with 3 subscribers, all in my family. Well, one doesn't count because it was me, so 2 subscribers, 2 true supporters, 2 true subscribers. And the fact that it's grown this like much so far, like, that's beyond me. So I just like to thank all of you guys for staying on this journey, and trust me, I do have a lot of ideas that I want to implement, so this little consistency streak is going to last. Hey, well, anyway, this is going to be a Learning Raven video. I know that I deleted that channel because I was just neglecting it, and I wasn't posting as much as I wanted to, and I feel like I was trying to create too many things at one time, you know? Like, you know the saying, jack of all trades? I have a feeling that you can be a jack of all trades, but your focus can't be placed in too many places at one time. If you are going to be a jack of all trades, you can be good at everything, but just when you're focused on one thing, always just focus on that one thing. And that's what I wasn't doing. I was just splitting my attention in way too many places, and that's why I kept on neglecting that channel. But I'm happy I moved it over here, because now I can really, I guess, connect to you guys and show you where my journey truly started in finance and business, entrepreneurship, and just everything that I see my future self being. Like, I kind of like write down, or I have these like, not visions, but I can see what I think of the person that I want to be, and I'm working towards that right now, if that makes sense. Like, I can see the vision. It's kind of hard for me to explain it, but when I write it down and when I draw it out, it's very clear, and I can see that vision of myself. And I know that that future self, or that future version of me, would like to see my mistakes, would like to see the journey. And I also know that other people out there probably will benefit from it as well. So that's why I decided to just share this journey with you guys, you know? So I am thinking that this video is going to be kind of long, so if you would like to, go ahead and get a snack or a drink. Pause the video right here, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so today what I'm going to be doing, basically, as you already know from my last video that was in this kind of like playlist area, the Learning Raven, I was just talking about my study session. I filmed my study session, which was a 90-minute long study session, an hour 30 minutes, but I ended up stretching it out to be about 3 hours long, because I was recapping, reflecting on what I read, reflecting on what I learned, and I was sharing it with you guys. So with that being said, I did make a few more of those study session videos. 2 of them were the 90 minutes, and then 1 of them was 60 minutes, because I did it in the morning before I had to go to school, and then I had work that day as well. They called me in, so I wasn't able to finish the full 90 minutes because I got home so late, you know, and I had homework to do and everything. Again, just trying to juggle a lot of stuff. I am going to say this to you guys. I don't care what year it is. I don't care what stage of life you're in. I don't care how old you are, what you look like. I really don't care. Whatever your vision for yourself is, just know that in the beginning stage, it probably, especially if you're not used to being consistent in that like area of your life, you are going to have some off days. And I definitely had some off weeks, okay? I didn't do another study session until yesterday. Granted, yesterday, let me look on my computer real quick. Yesterday was the 26th. My last study session was the 5th of February. Over 20 days of just not studying, not working towards that goal because I was trying to develop or like create content for YouTube and do all that other stuff. I didn't dedicate at least an hour a day to just sitting down and opening up a book, reading it, and then writing down what I learned and studying, like truly studying for whatever potential or whatever circumstance life may throw me. Again, experience is the best teacher, so I know that as I get older, I am going to experience life better and I will be able to learn more. But I'd rather like have a kind of an idea of what is to come in my life before I actually go ahead and experience it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that there are some people out there like that too, or if that resonates with you, good. I hope it does. But yeah, it's okay if you have some off days or off weeks. Just know that whatever vision you set for yourself, just set little goals every single day. And even if you miss a few days or a couple weeks, just know that it's okay. Forgive yourself and move on from that and continue on. So in this video, I'm basically going to just be recapping a lot of the information that I learned and sharing it with you guys, as well as recapping what I was doing in those study sessions to begin with. So let's get started. Okay, so on February 3rd, I was learning from the In-Home Baking board game by Derek Gray's company. I'll leave a link to his website in the bio. If you guys are looking to build group economics in your family, even if your family might not be like, I guess, on the same mindset or same path as you, because I do, I've read, okay, so one of my favorite like inspirational people ever is Dana Chanel. And I was reading on her comments on Instagram, and a lot of people, when it's the topic of group economics, their families aren't on the same mindset as them, and they don't have the vision that they have. So they think that that's an excuse to not do whatever it is that they wanted to do. But I'm just here to tell you that for like the Derek Gray's company, he is all about group economics and generational wealth and everything, and it is a great investment for you and your family. But if your family are not on the same path as you, it's okay. Continue your vision, because you got the vision for a reason. God put the vision in your mind for a reason, and if you don't believe in God, source, whatever energy, who cares? You have that vision for a reason, and you're supposed to act on that vision. You're supposed to act on that idea, you know? It wouldn't be in your head for no reason. So whatever vision that you have for yourself, set a goal, invest in that goal, and invest time, energy, money, I don't care. Invest in that goal until you actually are living in that vision, because your future self is living in that vision, but you have to do the little steps or climb the stairs to get there, you know? And even if your family isn't on that path, like such as like generational wealth, we hear that topic all the time. If your family isn't on that path, it's alright. Just keep on doing you, and eventually the right people will come into your life and the right team will form if your family is not that team, okay? But yeah, I highly recommend checking out Derek Gray's company's website, because he does provide a lot of tools that you can use yourself, especially if you're a young adult and you haven't experienced life as much as, say, like a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old, or even if you are like older, like an older adult, you can still benefit from his website or from his tools. You can teach your kids, you can like have like an actual plan, because one thing that I learned that messed up my consistency or my willingness to do what I wanted to do with studying was because I didn't have a set plan. Like, I had this big goal, this big vision, this life that I see I have, because in the future I do have this, and it is like acting itself out. I know this already. I just am trying to find the path. that I'm supposed to, or the paths that I'm supposed to go down to get there, you feel me? So I didn't know which path to take. I didn't have like a direction. But with his like tools, it kind of gives you a direction that you could take. It allows you to see the different paths that you can take, and it also allows you to, I guess, like act on it, if that makes any sense to you guys. But yeah, I highly recommend him. I highly recommend Dana Chanel. I just highly recommend all of them because they are really some great people just doing what's best for them and their family. And I feel like that's an inspiration for us all. But back to what I was saying in the study session. So for the first one on February 3rd, I picked the card CRA Act of 1970, trust account, and then it continued on into the second page. And I also went into escrow accounts, revocable living trusts, and then just a regular trust account. So I'm gonna basically just sum up exactly what all this is. So just give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so I'm back. I'm gonna go ahead and read off the definition for the CRA Act of 1970. And before I go on, I read off the wrong one and I got the wrong information now that I'm looking back on this video. I was supposed to find the information on the Reinvestment Act for low-income neighborhoods, but I actually read off a wrong one. So this one is a whole different topic, and I'll get into the real CRA Act of 1970 later. The Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1970 controls the collection, use, and redistribution of consumer information. And then the CRA, it basically just means Consumer Reporting Agencies. And as I was going through this during the study session, I didn't really see how this could be beneficial. I was like, okay, it's just another law, history, blase, blase. But then I got onto this section while I was studying and reading through the documents online along, I forget which website I sourced, but it's okay. Online, or the different articles that I read, and I figured out that it's important because of identity theft. So section 609E, if a company has done business with someone using your info, that company must provide you with all applications and business records that were made in your name. And I feel like that is beneficial, especially if you see your future self having, I don't know, just conducting business with companies that might be a little bit shady or are not as, I don't know the word, what is the word? Not as reliable, okay, because they don't have as many, they weren't up as long, or they don't have as many like customers coming in and out. I don't know. I feel like that can be beneficial to you guys, as well as just everyday life. Whenever you're just a consumer and you're buying something from another company, or you have to sign up for something, it's good to know that there is a law or an act in place that requires that company to pull up any information on your name, especially if it's like credit card theft. Just by reading it, it seems like it's actually like directly correlated to credit card theft and all that stuff. So it's a good thing to know. It's a good thing to research. Always do your own research. And if I am wrong about anything, please go in the comments and correct me. Share your thoughts on it. And yeah, not only will I benefit from it, but people in the future, yourself, I don't know, somebody else will benefit from it. So please go ahead and leave a comment down below whatever you think or whatever you find the CRA Act of 1970 as, and feel free to share any additional information that you know or explain it a little bit better. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the trust account. So I'm gonna go ahead and read off the definition first. So a trust account is a legal arrangement through which funds or assets are held by a third party, the trustee, for the benefit of another party, the beneficiary. So this one, I remember I was very tired during this little study session. So when I first read that definition, I was like, what? What are you talking about? Funds or assets. I was like, okay, I know what an asset is. An asset isn't a liability. An asset is something that you can like sell at any time and make money off of it. It's not depreciating, or it's not what's the word? It's not taking money out of your pocket. It's actually setting you up for money to be put in your pocket. You feel me? So I was like, okay, I understand what an asset is, but what is a trustee? Okay, so I was very confused on what a trustee was and then what a beneficiary was. But then as I was doing research, I learned that the trustee is basically whoever you appoint your assets to, as if the beneficiary is not able or is not of age to accept and handle those assets properly. So say that you decided to put a trust account in your child's name, or you decide to set up a trust account for your child, but if your child hasn't reached the age of, say, 18, I think that's the limitation, then you will appoint those assets to a trustee for that account. That could be your spouse, that could be a sibling of yours, a grown sibling, I don't know, just an adult that you know will be able to handle those assets until the child grows up and can take on those assets. You know what I'm saying? So that was very helpful to know, because for my future self, I do see myself, it's not even I do see myself, I already know that I am building assets, and that if I do choose to have children, well, if children come into my life, let's just say that, if children ever come into my life, then I will want to appoint those assets to my children. You feel me? I wouldn't want it to just be dangling around, especially in accordance to like a will and stuff. If I have all these assets that I built my whole life, I want those assets to go back into my family or onto those that I trust, so then the future generations will also benefit from it. And the only way that I'm able to do that is if you teach, or if I teach later generations on how to handle those assets, as well as steps that they can take to build wealth of their own, so then they're not struggling, you know? Because I don't know about y'all, but I never want to struggle. Like, that's just not for me. You know, I don't think anybody ever truly wants to struggle, but sometimes life just happens, and I just want to make sure that I'm not like caught in those crosshairs, or at least that I have a plan on how to get out if I am crossed in that. Anyway, that's basically all from the trust account, or the main point of the trust account. Again, I'm not going to be repeating everything that I listed on this, because I do want you guys to do your own research and share with others whatever you've learned, because this is not just my journey of just sharing what I learned, researching and applying what I research. That's stupid. Like, if I was just gonna do that, then I wouldn't even film these type of videos, or I wouldn't even, you know, like, I wouldn't even write it down. I'll just read and be on my way. I wouldn't share anything if that was just the case. But the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want you guys to actually take action towards these things and actually apply these things, or help others apply it, you know? Nobody in this world has to struggle if we all just use our heads and actually do the work, you know? So I'm gonna move on to February 5th study session. And in this one, I was talking about retained lawyers, a will, and that was basically it. I just went off on like the will part. Like, I got a lot of information out of the will because I was researching the different types of wills. So there's a testamentary will, a living will, an omission, so many others, but I didn't really write those down because they said that's the less beneficial type, or the last ones, or the less ones that are potent for success, if that makes sense. And then I also researched intestate, which basically just means without a will. So if you die without a will, then all, like, the state will just, let me just read it out. If you die without a will and states with that law, and the law that I'm referring to is elective share or community property laws, okay? The only state that doesn't have that thus far is Georgia, but again, do your own research because that might have changed by the time that you're watching this video. That probably has changed. Or maybe not probably, but it could have changed. Anything is possible. So, if you die without a will, aka intestate, hopefully I'm saying that right, in states with that law, the elective share law, half goes to the spouse if you have one, and the other half goes to the kids if you have one. And then this comes from the court of that state, or the state court selling those assets, such as the house. So just let this sink into your mind. They're selling the assets, so that those assets are no longer in your family. The money is, yes, that's cool, but the assets no longer. It's gone. So that's why I really recommend, especially if you do have assets or you're planning on building assets, just write a will, like, and make sure that you're actually putting those assets into people that you know can take care of them. And before I even go off and like go on that little tangent, let me actually tell you guys what a will is, just in case you didn't know. So a will is a legal document that sets forth your assets, or sets forth your aisles regarding the distribution of your property and any assets to your minor children or anybody that you trust in having those assets, you know. And this definitely settles affairs after death, especially if you're the type of person that is planning on building multiple streams of income, having many assets, or not even many assets, just sturdy assets, like really good assets that ain't going nowhere, you know. Anyway, y'all can go ahead and do your research on wills by yourself. I don't want this video to go over 30 minutes, you know. So I'm gonna move on to retained lawyers. So retained lawyers basically are lawyers on standby. Like, you know, on TV shows when you always hear people say, I'm gonna go call my lawyer. That's basically what they have. They have a retained lawyer that they have on standby. They pay them a certain amount of money. I think it's every single month. Or it might not be every single month. It just says on a regular basis. So it could be month to month, week to week. Who knows? Or every few months. They pay them on a regular basis to always be there whenever they need them on standby. And this can be very beneficial for you guys if you are the type of person that you see like wealth in your future, or that not that you crave it or desire it, but you see it. Like, that's just, it's not even a question. You already know that that's going to happen. This can be beneficial for you at that stage, because if you're doing something and somebody else steals your content or steals whatever you created, and you need to like copyright it, or I don't even know. The explanation will probably be much better once I actually experience this and am able to speak off of experience. But from my idea, what makes sense about it is that if you have assets that you need to protect, or you need a lawyer to protect those assets, or somebody is trying to sue you or something, I don't know, it's good to have a retained lawyer on standby just in case for those situations. And then I did read the Think and Grow Rich book, not sporadically. I read it in every single study session that I had, and that actually is what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. I just want to finish that book, and that's going to be the only book that I'm going to be focused on right now, and then I can focus on a different book, probably like a finance book or something. But I did read the business book. It was basically like the same little steps and plans on creating one, but I'm putting a stamp or a bookmark in that book, because I don't know what need-based business I want to start up just yet. You feel me? I know that the idea will come to me, or inspiration will spark, but right now I'm gonna put that book on hold. And I actually ended up having to focus on like student loans and stuff like that. So if you're a student, stand by for this next part, especially if you're a college student. If you're a graduate student, you most likely already know this, but if you are a freshman or a sophomore in college, or just new to college in general, this part is going to be very helpful for you. So stay tuned. I'm about to go get a drink of water. Peace, love, and light to you all.